Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Tuesday, October 10th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's Monday Night Raw broadcast live on USA Network from the CHI Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska. In the main event, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso made the first defense of their undisputed WWE Tag Team title, defeating former champions Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens when Rhodes pinned Owens.
And a great show of respect from Cody Rhodes to Sami Zayn, Jey Uso as well. And now Kevin Owens. Finally buys in. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Monday Night Raw.
In the opening segment, World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins accepted a challenge from Drew McIntyre to defend the title against him at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Afterwards, Rollins was attacked by Damian Priest, who tried to cash in his Money in the Bank contract, but McIntyre prevented him.
Oh! Glasgow kiss! I don't believe there'll be any cashing in tonight!
McIntyre protecting his investment, perhaps.
And Rollins back on his feet, and now Seth Rollins fighting back. Rollins off the choke slam, made it back to his feet, and sends Priest packing.
Rollins got away with one tonight thanks to McIntyre.
Yeah, but here's the question. How long can Seth keep going at this pace?
The NXT Women's Championship was defended on the show with Becky Lynch retaining against Tegan Nox. Also on the show, Bronson Reed emerged as the number one contender to Gunther's Intercontinental title by defeating Chad Gable and Ricochet in a triple threat match. In other results, Drew McIntyre pinned JD McDonough, Ivar pinned Kofi Kingston in a Viking Rules match, and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Nia Jax by disqualification when Rhea Ripley attacked Jax. After the match, Ripley was also attacked herself by Shayna Baszler. In ratings news, WWE's Fastlane Go Home episode of SmackDown last Friday night drew a total audience of 2.319 million viewers to USA Network, according to WrestleNomics. That total holds steady with the previous week's audience of 2.303 million. In the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic, the rating was .64, representing 838,000 viewers and coming in 6% ahead of the previous week's key demo rating. AEW Rampage held steady in total viewership while dropping in its key demo rating. Last Friday night's episode drew a total of 365,000 viewers to TNT, a slight increase of 1% from the previous week, according to WrestleNomics. The key demo rating was .14, down 12% from that of the previous week. In more WWE news, longtime company employee Rich Herring has retired, according to a report from PW Insider. Herring was WWE's Senior Vice President of Government Relations and Risk Management and had been with the McMahon family organization for over 50 years. Herring was the last person in the company, aside from Vince McMahon himself, who had originally worked for McMahon's father, Vincent James McMahon. He was also the recipient of the WWE's Warrior Award in 2021. Herring's departure was voluntary and reportedly not related to WWE's acquisition by Endeavor last month. And turning to Japan, the All Japan Pro Wrestling World Tag Team title changed hands yesterday with Jun and Rei Saito of Voodoo Murderers defeating Kento Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi in 37 minutes and 20 seconds. The loss ends Miyahara and Aoyagi's title reign at 116 days. The match was part of All Japan's Raising an Army Memorial Series Night 2 special, which took place at Kakuta City General Gymnasium in Kakuta, Japan. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, Follow the wrestling news across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the wrestling news. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.